CJ Flyer back with another YouTube video. It's finally time to talk about another rookie in the NBA other than Zach Edey, and that would be, of course, Jared McCain, who has been on an absolute tear the last few games for the Philadelphia 76ers, carrying the team on his back while Embiid, the former MVP, not even playing close to an MVP level. You got Paul George with his injury issues, and you got Tyrese Maxey, who's currently out for the next couple weeks at least. Jared McCain just doing it all on the offensive end of the floor. If we go ahead and take a look at the game last night, Cavs versus Sixers, Jared McCain with a 34-point career-high game, 10 assists, 2 steals, shot 6 of 13 from 3. Unbelievable performance. I was watching the highlights. I'll go ahead and leave a link to them in the comments, or not the comments, in the description of the video so you guys can go ahead and check them out. He's not the most flashy player, and obviously he's not anywhere close to being a tall player on the court, but he's a bit shifty, he's a bit crafty at times. I'm not going to lie, his first half highlights from this game were pretty boring, pretty underwhelming, but in the second half, he was really getting involved, working to get teammates open, less so much, a system player that like he was in the first half, and more of a, he's creating looks and opportunities in the second half to try to help get the win over the Cavs. Unfortunately, they failed to do that, losing the game by 8 points, but nonetheless, good look for Jared McCain. If we look at his last 3 games, 34 points last night. He had a 23-point game against the New York Knicks, 4 of 10 from 3. Had 27 points in the overtime win versus Charlotte, 3 of 8 from 3. I mean, he's cooking. He really is cooking recently. And, his per-game stats really don't do him justice right now because, you can already see 5 games ago, he only played 12 minutes. So he's finally getting some opportunities with Tyrese Maxey out, and he's showing everyone what he can do. Where does that put him in regards to the Rookie of the Year rankings? We'll just have to see. The latest NBA.com rookie ladder, I believe, has him at 5th. And I know there's another rookie on the Grizzlies that's climbing up the ladder as well in the absence of Ja Morant. But nonetheless, it'll be interesting to see how far Jared McCain can go just because of the nature of the situation. Once Tyrese Maxey's back, that's going to take the ball out of Jared McCain's hands. That could mean less assists. That could mean less points scored. Because I know there were times yesterday where Jared McCain and Kyle Lowry were on the floor at the same time. It's possible that the Sixers could run Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey on the floor at the same time, but would you really want to do that, or would you rather have Jared McCain coming off the bench as a scoring spark, so to speak? It's going to be interesting to see how the Sixers play this. This is the shining light in their gloom of darkness right now, as they are one of the worst teams in the league. If we look at the standings here, they're currently second to last in the East. Looks like they have the second worst record in the NBA currently. So, not a good look for the Philadelphia 76ers. Obviously, we talked about them yesterday. I talked about how underwhelming they've been and how they've diverted from the process that they had initially set up a decade ago. And again, this is kind of the one glimmer of hope that they have, is drafting Jared McCain and him performing very well to start the season. So do I think he'll win Rookie of the Year? I think it really just depends on the availability of the other players on the 76ers. I still think Zach Edey probably has the best chance. Ja Morant will eventually come back, so that one rookie on the Grizzlies that's really picking up the scoring load and whatnot, he'll start to fall. I think Zach Edey's got the best chance still, but we'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And with that, we're going to talk about the game predictions. I had a pretty awful night last night as far as predicting games. The Timberwolves lost back-to-back games against the Trailblazers. Pretty surprising there. The Kings beat the Suns, and I had the Suns getting the upset there as the Kings were the betting favorite. Same with the Grizzlies. Lakers were the betting favorite at home. I still picked the Grizzlies. And then, of course, the Bulls get the upset in Madison Square Garden. The Pacers, oh so close to being the Magic, and they fall short as well. And the Bucks almost ruined it against the Pistons. Thankfully for the Bucks, Ron Holland getting fouled on the shot, and he missed both free throws, so the game went to overtime. Bucks end up winning. Giannis carrying that team on his back as best as he can. Tonight, we only have one NBA game. It's the Mavs versus the Jazz. And again, I'm comparing with the FanDuel Sportsbook betting odds just because it's right there on the NBA schedule. You can toggle it on and off. I'm not promoting FanDuel. I'm not encouraging you use them or any other sports betting, sports gambling site. I'm just comparing for fun, sharing my opinion. If you're going to do it responsibly. There you go. Mavs versus Jazz. I'm a Mavs fan. I mentioned earlier in the week in a previous video how I predicted they were going to lose to the Warriors. They gave me some false hope at the end of the game, but they did in fact end up losing away to the Warriors. And a lot of people are going to start underrating the Mavs. You know, they have a losing record. They're currently, what are they? They're like 10th or 11th in the West right now. Right there with the Timberwolves, the two teams that made the Western Conference Finals, now sitting towards the bottom of the West. But I'm not too worried about the Mavs. You know, like I said before, they've been dealing with some injuries to key players. And they've had a pretty tough schedule. And if you look at the last 3 games they played, they lost, was it the Suns is the first one? Yeah, they lost to the Suns by 1, they lost to the Nuggets by 2, and they just lost to the Warriors by 3. So, and they're all 3 of those teams are towards the top of the West. So I'm not worried. I'm really not worried. This next stretch of games, I'm feeling pretty confident. They play the Jazz tonight, they play the Spurs Saturday. The next 2 games after that is the Thunder and the Pelicans. So I think even with P.J. Washington still out, and who knows what's going on with Derek Lively or Luka, I think there's a good shot of winning 3 of the next 4. But we'll see. That being said, I'm picking the Mavs tonight, and I probably don't even need to look at the betting favorite, but we'll go ahead and do it anyways. Looking at the schedule, go unhide the odds, and yeah, Dallas favored 8.5. No surprises. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, and click one of the videos on your screen right now for some more NBA discussion.